My name is Emily Carter. I grew up in a small town in Texas, USA. From the time I was a little girl, I always dreamed of doing something big for my country. My father was a truck driver, my mother worked in a local store, and our family lived a simple life. We didn't have much money, but we had pride. Whenever I saw soldiers on TV, wearing their smart uniforms and marching with discipline, my heart beat faster. I used to tell my mother, "One day I will also wear that uniform. One day I will serve America." She would smile gently and say, "Emily, that path is not easy, but if you are brave enough, nothing is impossible." I carried those words with me. When I turned 19, I finally signed up for the United States Army. I remember the day of my selection. My hands were shaking, my heart was racing, but when the officer handed me the acceptance letter, I felt as if I had touched the sky. I called my mother and said, "Mom, I made it." She cried on the phone and whispered, "I'm proud of you." At first, everything was exciting. The training was hard, running in the heat, carrying heavy bags, learning discipline, but I never gave up. Whenever I wanted to quit, I reminded myself of my dream, to serve my country with honor. I thought the Army would be about courage, unity, and respect. I believed every soldier was equal, whether man or woman. But soon, reality began to show a different face. In the beginning, I noticed small things. Some male officers didn't treat us, the female soldiers, with the same respect. They often gave us strange looks, as if we were not real soldiers, but something else. One officer once said to me, half joking, "Emily, you don't need to run so hard. Your real duty is not on the battlefield." I laughed nervously, but inside I felt confused. What did he mean? Later, I realized. Some girls were not given important tasks or training. Instead, they were asked to spend time with officers, attend private dinners, or keep them happy. At first, I couldn't believe it. I thought the Army was about defending the nation, not pleasing individuals. But it was true. Some girls accepted it because they felt they had no choice. Others stayed silent out of fear. I started to feel a deep conflict in my heart. Every night, when I lay down on my bed in the barracks, I thought, why did I join the Army? To serve or to suffer? To protect my country or to make officers happy? I wanted to believe that not all officers were like that. And it was true. Some were respectful, professional, and kind. But the shadow of unfair treatment was always there. Once, a friend of mine, Sarah, came to me crying. She whispered, "Emily, I can't take it anymore. They don't see me as a soldier. They only see me as entertainment." Her words cut my heart. I held her hand and said, "Sarah, you are strong. We didn't come here for this. We came to serve." But deep down, I knew how heavy her pain was. One evening, during a training session, I looked around at the young women standing beside me. They were strong, brave, and intelligent. Yet many of them were not given the chance to show their true potential. I thought of my mother's words, "If you are brave enough, nothing is impossible." That night, I made a decision. I couldn't stay silent anymore. I had to speak the truth, not only for myself, but for every girl who joined the Army with pure dreams. It wasn't easy. Speaking against unfair practices in the Army meant taking a huge risk. I could be punished, ignored, or even removed. But I remembered why I joined in the first place. For honor. And honor meant telling the truth. I started by writing in my journal. Every unfair incident I saw, I wrote it down. Every disrespectful word, every misuse of power, I recorded it. Then, with shaking hands, I wrote a letter to the higher authorities. I explained how women were being treated unfairly, how they were not given equal respect, and how some were pressured into duties that had nothing to do with defending the country. For days, I waited in fear. Would they punish me? Would they silence me? But something unexpected happened. A few weeks later, an investigation team arrived at our base. They started asking questions, interviewing soldiers, and reading the complaints. At first, many girls were scared to speak. But when they realized someone had already raised the voice, they began to share their own stories. Sarah came to me one night and said, "Emily, because of you, I finally feel brave. Thank you." Tears filled my eyes. I wasn't a hero. I was just a girl who refused to stay silent. But sometimes, one small voice can start an echo. The investigation didn't fix everything overnight, but it was a beginning. Some officers were questioned, some were warned, and rules were made stricter. The Army started programs to ensure equality and respect for women. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. For me, the biggest victory was not the investigation, but the awareness. People began to talk about it openly. Soldiers, both men and women, started realizing that respect and dignity were as important as discipline and courage. Today, as I look back at my journey, I still wear my uniform with pride, but I wear it with a new understanding. The Army is not just about weapons and war. It is about people. It is about values. And if women are not respected in uniform, then the meaning of honor is lost. That is why I share my story, because everyone should know the truth. Everyone should understand that women join the Army with dreams, just like men. They are not here to entertain, but to protect, to serve, and to sacrifice. If you are listening to me today, remember this. Respect women in or out of uniform. Give them the dignity they deserve, because a nation can only be strong when all its soldiers stand equal. My name is Emily Carter. I am a soldier, a daughter, a dreamer, and a fighter for truth. I joined the Army to serve my country, and though the road was hard, I never gave up. I faced the hidden realities, I raised my voice, and I survived with honor. And if my story teaches you anything, let it be this. Never stay silent in front of injustice. Speak up even if your voice shakes, because silence protects the wrong, but courage creates change.